championship at the All-Star game. But we ain't playing. Yeah. I think I'm suited, booted, facial up. Caesar waited, faded, yeah, I'm tapered down. Manny Petty, Suyi going, follow him round, wipe me down. Yeah, I think I'm Philip Michael Thomas now. Miami linen, Miami women. Even when the heat is losing, we Miami winning. Man, I'm killing. How I make a living. ABC, take him to the bank. Michael Bivins.
That's what it is. Welcome to another episode of the Mack Lessons Radio Show. I am your host. My name is Mr. Tariq Nasheed. Glad to have everybody tuning in. Ready to chop up a good game with all you players and playettes out there. And today's show is brought to you by MackLessons.com. That's where you can get all your macking needs met. You can go get all the pay-per-view specials, which include the game Must Be In You, Not On You. And you can get the pay-per-view special for all you couples out there. Marriage, Mackin, and Monogamy. That's available at MackLessons.com. And you can get all the DVDs and books and all that good stuff. And you can get Hidden Colors at HiddenColorsFilm.com. One of the best history documentaries out there in the game. Get Hidden Colors at HiddenColorsFilm.com. Ladies and gentlemen. And don't forget, tomorrow, December 1st, is National Players Day. So you have to pop your collar to all the players around the world. Tomorrow's a players' holiday. It's the Players Day, the official Players Day. So we're going to celebrate that starting tonight on Ustream, because we're having the second annual Best Dressed Player contest. Now, last year we had the Best Dressed Player contest. We had a ball. And how the Best Dressed Player contest works, my listeners, my players out there, they submit photos. And we've closed submissions already, because I got a lot of players who submitted their pictures for this week's contest on Facebook. And what they do, they submit their pictures, and we go live on Ustream, and we have the audience judge the players' outfits to see who's the best dressed. And the winner this year, you're going to get a free bottle of the Risque Elite Cologne, and you're going to get a pay-per-view special of your choice. And we're having the contest open to women too, the Best Dressed Female contest. And we've gotten a couple of submissions for the females, but we want more females to submit your pictures for tonight's contest, because the ladies, you will get a free pay-per-view special as well if you win the contest. And you can submit pictures to my Facebook fan page, facebook.com/Tariq Nasheed. And again, tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, at 7 p.m., 10 Eastern Time, we're going to have the contest. Let me put on my Mackin music. Let me put on some Mackin music so I can get into my zone. But like I said, tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we're going to have the contest on Ustream. Now, a lot of people might not know how to get to my Ustream page, because on my Ustream page, I'm not in the search engine. My main show is not in the search engine. It used to be on the search engine. What you guys are going to have to do is follow me on Twitter. Everybody should be following me on Twitter anyway. That's twitter.com at Tariq Nasheed. If you don't know how to spell my name, TariqNasheed. Follow me on Twitter right now, everybody. Just take 3 seconds out to follow me on Twitter, and I can update you the links for the Ustream shows, because the Ustream shows off the hook. We have a great time doing the Ustream shows. And again, when you go to Ustream and try to find my show, it's a little difficult, because, you know, y'all remember that little beef I had with this bitch nigga, that nigga Kevo, as we call Fishmouth Kevo. I roasted this nigga, and he went to snitching, and they actually took the Ustream page down for a day, but we got the page back up. But that messed up the search engine of my show, so it has something to do with that little dirtbag. But I digress. And speaking of him, a lot of people have been requesting that song that we have on the unreleased Kevo diss album. We had a whole album ready to diss that little son of a bitch. But he tapped out and apologized. And I played a cut on Ustream last week from that unreleased Kevo album. I'm just going to play that again because people keep requesting it. This is from the unreleased diss album that we had for Kevo. Hold on.
Fish now.
That's the jam right there.
Fish now.
The hot one.
Fish now. Fish now.
That is the jam right there. All right. Anyway, enough of that. All right, let me put my Mackish music back on. So anyway, I digress. The point is, I say all that to say that in order to find me on Ustream, you normally have to be following me on Twitter or Facebook. And my normal Facebook page, I have 5,000 friends, but you guys go to my Facebook fan page and you look me up. Now, next week, we're having the Mackish package sale. A lot of people have been asking me about the Mackish package sale. And we're having the Mackish package sale next week. That's next Wednesday, December 7th. And the sale is only going to be like 6 days. It's going to go on to Tuesday, December 13th. Excuse me. And this year, the Mackish package will include the Mack Lessons DVD, the Live in Atlanta DVD, the Live in New York DVD, the Tariq Elite Live in Miami DVD, the Aviator sunglasses, the Art of Gold Digging book, because a lot of you players have not read the book. That's going to be included in the package. And on top of all that, you get a bottle of Risque Elite Cologne. You're going to get all this in the Mackish package for just $99. That's a good-ass package. Even if you have some of the DVDs or whatever, you can give some of the stuff out as gifts to friends and relatives. But that's a damn good package, and people have been asking me about the package. We haven't done a package in a minute, and we always do it around Christmas. So you guys are going to have less than a week to get that package, and you're going to have time to get it. That's why we're doing it kind of early this year, so you will definitely have it by Christmas. We're going to send out the last packages on that Tuesday, December 13th. So you will definitely get everything by Christmas. Because last year we got started late and there was so many we had to send out. A couple of packages got there after Christmas, but we're starting early, so all your Mackish packages will get there before Christmas. And remember, it's 1 week only. Don't you niggas start hitting me up during Kwanzaa talking about where can they order Mackish package. No, it's 1 week only, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, I digress. So, on today's show, we're going to get inside the mindset of a trick. That's today's topic. Now, what we're going to do, because I've talked about tricks on the show before, but we've never really analyzed the mindset of a trick from an insider. So the majority of today's show is going to be an interview of this guy who contacted me. He wrote a book, and he's what I call a professional trick. So he's going to give you some first-hand information on or insight, shall I say, on the mindset of a trick. And the reason why I'm playing this interview, and it's kind of long, and some of it is a little drawn out because this guy was kind of rambling, but it just gives you, my players out there, and some of my former tricks, it gives you the mindset of how a trick thinks and what you should do to not be in that mindset if you're trying to be a player about yours. Because if you want to be a trick and you happy with your tricking, knock yourself out. You like making it rain, knock yourself out. Who am I to judge whatever dude's lifestyle is? Some of you dudes like being tricks. Knock yourself out. You're not a bad person. My whole thing, if you tricking, nigga, acknowledge what it is. Don't act like you doing some Mackish fly shit and you coming out your pocket every time you see a chick. That's my thing. Stay in your trick lane. The problem is we have tricks trying to seep up in the player lane like they doing some real fly player shit, and you're not. You know, you need to stay in your lane. And this gentleman that I've interviewed, his whole philosophy is that there's a difference between a trick and a John. And I want you guys to hear it. It's a very interesting insight on the way a trick thinks. And this gentleman, he calls himself Jack Rover. Man, that's such a made-up name, but that's the name that's his pen name. More power to the brother. The name of his book is called The Ultimate Guide for the Traveling John. And again, the interview is kind of long. I want you guys to bear with it, but it's some good information, some good game that I tried to lace on the cat. And again, this just gives you the mindset of a trick. So here we go with the interview with Jack Rover, the insight of a trick's mind. Here we go. All right, Mack Lessons Radio show. And I have a gentleman on the phone. He is an author of a new book. It's a book about tricking. It talks about
Johnning, actually.
Johnning. There you go. He says there's a difference between being a trick and being a John. And we have what's the name of the book, brother?
Getting the best bang for your bucks. The ultimate guide for the traveling John.
Getting the best bang for your buck. The ultimate guide for the traveling John. We have Jack Rover. That's the correct name, right?
Yes.
Jack Rover. Now, Jack, before we get into the book, now, where are you from originally, Jack?
I'm from California.
Okay. And you know, the Mack Lessons Radio show, we have a very anti-trick vibe. The whole vibe.
Right. And just to clarify, you know, you could kind of look at it like a John is like, you know, not necessarily a trick, but he's got more swag than a trick. He doesn't lose his money like a trick does, you know, and he's cautious about his money. I mean, he knows that, you know, pretty much every woman comes with a price. I mean, I look at it like if you go to my website, you'll see my book, and I tell guys to not limit themselves to prostitutes. You know, I never limited myself to that. When I was in Thailand, when I was in Mexico, when I was in Europe, even though I did what you define as tricking, I did not only dabble with the prostitutes, and I feel prostitution gives guys more options.
Okay, when you say you don't limit yourself to prostitutes.
Right.
But the thing is, man, if you're tricking internationally, if you're going around tricking to different countries, I doubt if a lot of guys don't let the macking and the tricking coincide. Usually you're going to do one or the other. You know what I'm saying? I don't see a dude who's in Thailand tricking going to a club.
What if we were on an island together and there was this chick who said $30 by the hour? I mean, she was hot and everything. I mean, you would pass that up. I was in Koh Samui, and, you know, I could not pass that up. You know, there's just no way. I mean, I have the extra money there. You know, it's like, hey, I'm on vacation. Well, you know, why not? You know, I mean, it's just all in how you go about it. I mean, and plus, there are some guys, like, you know, who have built meaningful relationships from the John and prostitute thing. I mean, a lot of people want to take away our humanity, saying that love and, you know, feelings cannot come out of these kinds of relationships. And I'm just trying to say that's simply not true. You know, if you go on a date, if you're married, you know, I mean, these are all forms of prostitution. I mean, come on, if you want to accept it for what it is.
Okay, now let me ask you this. You said there's a difference between a trick and a John. What is the difference between a trick and a John?
You could say a John has more swag, and a John is not going to limit himself to just paying for it all the time. And on top of that, you know, a disabled man, you would never think twice about a man who's confined to a wheelchair as wanting some gratification from a woman. You know, my book, I acknowledge a man who's disabled and say, hey, you know what? this is how you got to get it, this is how you got to get it. But, you know, and you see, the thing is, I would rather know the price now than to know the price later. See, I feel here in America, you look at prostitution from the tainted eyes. You look at it from the hustle, from the criminal element, and even from feminism perspective. And, you know, that's because you're not looking at it from, you haven't been in a culture where they train.
Okay, let's go. We're going off. We're reeling off again. The difference between a trick and a John. You didn't really specify.
Well, a John just will not limit himself to prostitutes, and he has, you know, more swagger than a trick, and he won't limit it. He just has he's not going to limit himself to just one kind of woman. You know, there's less room for deceit when you're Johnny. You know, a John cannot be played like a trick. You know,
how come a John can't be played like a trick? If they're doing the same thing, if they're really going to different countries, giving girls money or negotiating money for sex, how can he not be played like a trick?
Because he knows how he accepts how he met that woman. You know, there's an acceptance, you know, like, hey, she could go off. Like, he knows that she belongs to the dollar, but there's a chance that, you know, she could like him free. Like, from what happened with me in Thailand, I Johns often use money as an icebreaker. You know, what happened with me in Thailand, I got with a chick, I paid for her for that time. She let me stay with her for the next day. She let me have her for 24 hours for free because she liked me. She liked who I was. You know, the money was just an icebreaker. You know, I mean, you know, I don't
see. That's exactly how the average trick thinks. The trick is manipulated by a lot of women in the game to think that he's something other than a trick. And now you've come up with this, well, a John and a trick is the same thing. You're just a trick who's been tricked very well. When you start thinking that the whole likes you, that's the biggest mistake a trick can make.
Well, why would they let me stay with them for free? Why would they not charge me any extra? That's what. Tell me that.
There's some hoes whose game is a little tighter than others, and usually when you go to third world countries, they'll lay up with you for 2 and 3 days because those little $1 and $2 will stack up. They know that you will give them $40, $50 the next day. They can reel some money out of you. A female who's thorough with her game, she's going to spit and get her money up front real quickly from you. So that's why a lot of guys go to other countries and they trick, because the girls are a little slower with their game, and you can get the bang out your buck. You can get more for little in these third world countries. But hell,
right. Well, here's the thing, man. As I sent you in the email, confidence for many men is based on results, and with John, you know, you can have, the thing is with being a John, you'll have more bop when approaching a regular woman. You feel me? Like, you know, you're confident in areas where prostitution is in abundance. You're confident in knowing that your physical needs are going to get met. So long, you know, when the guy knows his physical needs are going to get met first, he has more confidence. You know, from what I see in these areas, you know, when approaching regular women, see, a lot of guys will focus on just the prostitutes. Those are the tricks. A John will, you know, expand his horizons. He won't limit his options to just that prostitute. He will go to the club or to whatever public place, whatever tourist spot, and meet women who are there on vacation doing their thing.
Man, a trick. When dudes trick, when they John, dudes who trick in professional tricks, because you're what we call a professional trick. That's what you do. You got tricking down in your mind. You think you have tricking down to a science in your mind. That makes you a professional trick. And professional tricks hate going to regular clubs. They hate dealing with regular girls because you got to really use some game. You got to use your mouthpiece. You got to spit. The fact that you are used to paying girls as an icebreaker shows a deficiency in game. No matter how you cut that, how much you try to slice it, when you pay the girl thinking that's an icebreaker, that shows a deficiency in your game, and the women know that.
Okay, but what about on a date? If a dude paying for a date, like let's say he's spending $40 to $100 on a date, and he doesn't get laid. To me, that's a trick.
No. That the whole, if you take woman on a date, that's tricking too. That's a weak argument that a lot of tricks like to use, brother. That's a weak argument because the thing is, a date isn't necessarily sexual. You can go on a date and really enjoy a woman's time.
I mean,
listen
I
what I'm saying.
explained in my book.
Listen what I'm saying, brother. When you go on a date with a woman, sometimes you can, like when I'm on a date with a woman, I genuinely enjoy myself. I go to a restaurant that I like eating at. Go to a movie that I like seeing. I would go to a museum that I like going to. So the whole vibe isn't sexual. We're having a good time. We're getting to know each other. I might pay for the date, but I'm not doing it in exchange for sex. The sex will come later if it does come, if it doesn't. But a date doesn't equate sex automatically, but tricks justify it by saying, okay, well, if you're paying for a date, you're paying for sex, and you might as well give her the money up front. That's trick thinking 101, and everybody's hip to that.
Okay, but here's the thing. If I'm on a date, I'd rather do what I do for free. If she's a regular woman, I'd rather treat her like a regular woman. I'm going to do what I do for free. Go to the, and I'm not going to drop no money on if she's a regular woman, And that's just what it is, I mean, my thing is I'm not going to limit myself to one kind of woman. I'm not going to limit myself to one market of women. That, to me, that gives women more power in the game. I mean, here's the thing, man. Let me ask you this. Do you feel, in America, we should legalize this thing? Go ahead, because that's another thing I'm trying to work on, Johns and sex workers getting together to legalize this thing here in America. Because
absolutely,
regardless
I
how you
think they should. Absolutely. Because the thing is,
yes,
as much game as I preach, and as much as I adhere to the game, there's just simply going to be tricks and Johns out there. It's tricks, Johns, Simps. That's a part of reality, and it should be legalized, I think. And so all the players can get their money up. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, tricks and Johns, they really have a contempt for dudes who really have tight mouthpieces, dudes who have game. The tricks and the Johns have a real contempt for those dudes. So let me tell you something. The dudes in the game, a lot of cats that I was around back in the day, they hate tricks, and they teach the women in the game to hate tricks and Johns.
Right. But peep this. Let me tell you like this, brother. I told another dude, his dad, he told me his dad was a pimp. I was like, look, your dad could not sell me a female, and that's just real talk.
Your dad, you said his dad can't do what?
Huh?
You said his dad couldn't do what?
He couldn't sell me a female. He couldn't sell me one of his females. You could not sell me. I deal with the female directly.
Wait. Stop right there. Now let's get into the game. A pimp doesn't sell the female to the John. That's a real big misconception, brother. You saying you're a professional tricker. You don't even know the ins and outs of the game. You getting the white folks' definition of pimping and hoeing, that a pimp goes out and say, hey, I got a nice girl in the back for you. You know what I'm saying? It's that hustle and flow shit that people think that pimping is. Like, hey, you see that little girl over there? She whipped me, but she ain't whipped me. No, that ain't pimping. Pimps don't solicit for the girls. It's a whole deeper thing. You understand? So you might be dealing with a female who's telling you she's single and she has a PI at home. And she's patting your pockets down, making you think that she likes you. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, okay, but here's the thing. I just rather know the price up front than to know the price later. I mean, just think about all the dudes who get caught up in divorce, child support and all that. I just rather be the type to say, okay, if you want money and I want to hit that, let's be direct. Let's be upfront. I'm not about to pass up on some hot punani, some fine looking. I'm not about to pass that up, and I got some money in my pocket that I could spare, and I'm just going like, just let's be upfront, for an hour, whatever, be real with me.
And you know what you're thinking? It's like a lot of dudes. Hey, there's a lot of tricks out there, especially a lot of tricks on these little message boards who hate me. They're like, Buck Tariq, all that Mack and shit. I got money. I make it rain. And again,
no. Oh, another thing, a John does not make it rain. A John is more conservative about his. Like, he does not show out. He does not. No, that's not it. Like, we see the thing. See, here's the thing. The goal of a John, as I say in my book, the goal of a John is to ultimately find love, sex, affection, all that, eventually, but, at the cheapest way possible. He knows that there's a price in the game. And here's the thing, and here's real talk. There's guys who think they don't have to pay for sex, and there are guys who know that you're paying for sex. And that's just the only difference between John and every other dude.
But brother, let me tell you something. But the thing about paying for sex, this is the thing about paying for sex, and this is what fucks with a lot of you guys' self-esteem. You Johns and Tricks out there, it really fucks with your self-esteem at the end of the day, because you know in the back of your mind, if you run out of money, the female is gone. Or if you're in a situation where
that's what we can accept. We can accept that.
But no, not really, because see, deep down, what you're paying for is for the female to like you. That's what it's about. Even when you said, well, the female, John, he has swag and all that, that you're falling for the trick bag that these girls put you in. Let me tell you something, brother, and I've been around the game for a long time. I've been around hustlers.
Right, but I think you've limited yourself to America too much. Hello?
Brother, I done been everywhere on this planet. I do not limit myself to America. You name a place. You name a place. I've been there. If you've been somewhere, I guarantee that I've been there. You understand? I've been all over. So I've seen the game played international. I've been to Thailand, brother. I've been all up and down Thailand. I done seen them women out there on the track and all that shit. I done been out there. And Thailand is a great place, and you don't have to go out there to trick. Thailand is one of my favorite places, and I'm not out there tricking. I wasn't tricking when I went to Brazil. You understand what I'm saying? So, guys, you guys have that trick mentality where you're just going to trick no matter what. So I'm definitely not limited to the U.S.
No, well, see, like I said, man, in other countries, a lot of them, the thing is, a lot of them, be it legal or be it in abundance, they gonna, it's gonna be more upfront. The thing is, there's less room for deceit in this. Like I said, man, John
who's
is
deceiving who? You're saying there's less room for deceit. Who's deceiving who?
The thing there's, when you in the regular market, you just limited to, you could get played as well. But when you're John and everything's up front, and most of the women that I've dealt with, I dealt with them for free or paid them, they, what I'm saying, all of them wouldn't even come across as a prostitute. Some of them would be regular chicks, work, be a waitress or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just, regular, and they just be like, a little money, well, okay, that's an incentive to, to do my thing with you. I know you're here on short time or whatever, and they, a lot of them would not obviously be, wouldn't even fall into the category of prostitute.
All right, let me ask you this, brother, because you're all over the place with it. How much money what's the most money you spent on a female?
To be honest with you, I cannot, I really don't know, like a little over 100. Maybe a little over 100. A little over 100.
A little over 100. You saying the most you spent is a little over 100?
Yeah, on any one time. Yeah, a little over 100.
And let me say this, bro. Let me say this. And you're a black man, right?
I like to consider myself in this. I'm a person. I want my book to appeal to all audiences. So I'm neutral. I'm just a man. I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay. But what I do say in my book, in regards, I say what I do say.
That's nigga talk right there. You sound like the average nigga in the hood right by now. Like,
no. What I'm gonna say is that the John thing, that it gives women incentives to take in men from other cultures they otherwise would have not, dealt with. So it's just. It's really,
Look, let me school you, brother. Let me school you. This is another reason why a lot of players teach their girls to stay away from black professional tricks. Because if the most you're spending is $100, you're not even a good trick. So the PIs and the real stomped down bona fide hoes, they're going to avoid you like the plague anyway. You understand what I'm saying? Well,
no.
Here's the thing. I'm upfront with my price. Like I'm upfront with things. Like you state your price, and if I have it and I could spare it, then cool. Let's go do it. If I don't want to pay that, if I don't feel you worth that, then I just move on. But see, this thing here gives you options. You're not limited to one market. That's my whole point,
brother.
man.
Listen to what I'm saying, because you're trying to justify this shit. If the most you spent is $100, you're not even getting good hoes.
Well, no, but that's
what kind of
overseas,
hoe are you getting for $100? You must be getting
overseas,
some.
where
That's
the
crack
average
hoe
one was
prices.
like 20. Huh?
Dude, you getting that's crack hoe prices. A real bona fide hoe won't even.
That's in America,
right?
That's not over there overseas, man. Where they?
But the thing is, hell, how much is your flight and all that shit to go overseas to spend $30? And I know in Thailand you can spend $30-$40 on, because I
That's
heard
the reason a lot of the guys go over there, is because it is cheap and it is plentiful, and then they do their thing for an hour, $30 for about an hour. So they don't see that in a day over there. A lot of in Thailand and in the Philippines, and in other countries like in Latin America, and in Europe, that's where it's the most expensive. Now, when we talk about Western Europe, when we talk about Amsterdam, now that's where it gets most expensive. In Amsterdam, okay, I will say I was spending between $100 to $200, but over there in Amsterdam,
$200. Okay, now you done raised it, and now you say you spent $200 on some
close to $200, between $100 and $200. But I'm not going to pay that much more. I mean, that's the thing. Like
everybody's hip to the whole third world hustle. Everybody's hip to that. So I'm trying to understand what new information will people get out of your book, because every trick is hip to Thailand, every trick is hip to the Philippines, every trick is hip to Brazil, every trick is hip to the Dominican Republic. That's common knowledge in trick world. You understand? So I'm just trying to understand, what new information are you providing for the potential trickers?
Well, I'm providing them with safety tips. I'm providing them with, also, other people will hustle them, because see, I had to learn that other people, they see you coming. They're like, either they're the middlemen, or even from the middlemen to the hotels to where you stay. I tell them how to avoid all this and get what you want to get. You know what I'm saying? I tell them how to avoid getting hustled by everyone else. How to just basically keep it between you and the. You're
teaching them how to avoid getting hustled. But the thing is, brother, you got to stop getting hustled yourself, because if you think these hoes like you, you're not a good trick. And that's tricking 101. You need to know when the female is spitting at you, and usually when you pull out your money, the female is spitting at you. Let me school you, brother, on the game. I've been around the game for a long time, and the thing about professional tricks like you guys think that you're smarter than the hoe, and that's your biggest mistake. You think that bullshit conversation and your little jibber jabber, you're running game, you're hustling the female out of more time.
No, nobody's hustling. That's what we avoid. We avoid the hustle. Everything's on the up and up. Everything's
just
direct.
like I got free. I was there another day for free, and I'm a John, and I got swag. It is, that's a hustle. You're trying in your mind, thinking that you're getting a bigger discount. You're talking up on some good prices, and you're really not. You're dealing with females who are in a third world country. They'll fuck anybody with $20, $30. Excuse me. So that's not a big accomplishment to get a third world hoe. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, see, it's not about accomplishment, though. It's about just getting what you want out of a woman. It's hard to do that thing. It's hard to do it over here. I was able to get threesomes. It's hard. I wasn't getting challenged. I wasn't getting nagged. I was once feeling, like a
king. You say you were getting threesomes. What you say? You giving threesomes?
Yeah.
You were paying for threesomes. You weren't getting threesomes. No. You were paying to do your thing. Y'all stop saying that, man. I hate when tricks be like, yeah, I got a girl to do this. You paid some broads to do certain things. That shit don't count, man, when it comes to some game. So you got to use the right terminology. So I would say your book should be about safety tips. If you want to be a trick, knock yourself out. You want a John, whatever you want to call yourself, knock yourself out. But just acknowledge it for what it is. The thing is, be a smart trick. And brothers, that's why brothers make bad tricks. See, white dudes, they know their trick. They don't give a fuck. They're like, because I go to Brazil and I'm chilling. Guys like, how come you don't have no girls with you? I'm like, I'm just out here in the club doing my thing. Like, man, I done fucked about 6 bitches, man. I'm like, I ain't trying to, trick my money off like that. You dig? So they're wide open with it. They don't give a shit. But brothers always have to mix in some other shit like they ain't tricks. In your mind.
No. We don't see ourselves as different from anyone. I mean, the thing is, how do I explain? Like, I could, I'm teaching guys basically how to just not spend too much. Just basically in my book, I'm basically teaching them how to save money on what they do, watch their emotions and watch their budget.
Okay.
And that's what it basically is.
Okay, so all the tricks out there, who's listening? How can a trick save some money on some third world pussy? What's the best way for a trick to save money? Let's just crack open the book and give us some tips on that.
It's mainly everyone else around there looking to hustle you. That's the thing. Like, and I teach them how to avoid people who are, the ones who are also trafficked, the ones who are being pimped, the ones who are being forced into labor and corrupt. I teach them how to look out for that, because I know how to pick up on those vibes.
Okay, I'm going to beg to differ because it doesn't sound like you know how to find out when a girl has a pimp. So in your mind, because I can tell you don't know, because you said like your friend's dad, he couldn't sell you a girl, and a real pimp don't sell girls. They don't. No.
I said a pimp can't. No matter who. I can't be sold. I mean everything, and I teach them to finish before they pay. Like, here's another thing. I hope I don't. I'm hoping I'm not giving too much of my book away. But
no. You sell your book.
The thing is, you can get hustled by the women out there.
No, wait. Stop right there. Stop, brother. Wait. You said they should finish before they pay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now
that's one of my chapters. Yep.
Okay. Now, no hoe in her right mind is going to do anything without getting the money up front. See, that's the thing. They want your business. It's like a cab. Do you pay a cab when you get dropped, before you get dropped off, or you pay a cab after? But you got to tell the whole truth. No hoe who's halfway bona fide about her hoeing is going to do everything up front. The only hoe who would do that may be a meth hoe or a crack hoe. That's the only type of hoe that would do. That is absolutely true, brother. I done been around the game for years. That's the first thing a hoe is taught, is to get the money up front all over the world. If a female has
that's not what I've not. Well, I've done it differently. I guess something different has happened with me then. And the thing is, when they're staying with you for a longer time, they're trusting you. You're building some kind of rapport with them. So it's not. Things are on the up and up. I really think you're looking at this thing from an American perspective.
I'm looking at it from a game perspective. And the thing is, bro, deep down, you don't want to feel like a trick. That's all it is. No trick really wants to feel like a trick. So you tell yourself all this stuff that the female, she's spending time with you. You think you're getting over on the girl because really
I'm not. It's not about getting over. That's the mistake. Ain't nobody looking to get over on nobody. Everything's up and up.
It's saving money. You think you're hustling the girl out of time, and you're really not.
No, nobody's hustling nobody. Everything's up and up. The price is stated. Everything's forward. If she's $45 by the hour or $100 for the whole night, then or a little under 100 or whatever, everything direct. And if I'm there for a week, a month, or whatever, and I'm setting the price, and this is what you get. If she's saving money, she ain't paying for no bills. She getting her meals paid for. She one of them was, when I was in Thailand, I was on the island of Koh Samui. Okay, one of them, I treated them to a candlelit dinner on the beach. They serve their fresh catch.
So you out here cupcaking with hoes? You out there in Thailand cupcaking with the hoes?
It's hard to cupcake here. It's hard for me. I'm an affectionate, loving guy, man. Wow. And it's just like I look to get it any way I can get it from a desirable woman. The goal of the John is to get love, affection, sex from a desirable woman the cheapest way possible, And it's hard when a chick looks good over here. It's just that much harder to get at her. And it is what it is because you're limited to the free market. So you got a lot of dudes who trying to gawk at her, get at. It it's difficult, man. And it plays on your confidence.
You are a true trick. I will give you that. Well, you are one of the biggest tricks I've ever seen in my life.
No, but she was appreciative, and that makes me feel good. She was appreciative to get, to be treated to a candlelit dinner.
Yeah, she's appreciative. Yeah, she's appreciative. She called her
and that
a
made
good
me
trick
feel
to
good
Peter.
too.
Yeah, she's appreciative. I mean, but what happened in your life that makes you feel like you have to go to a third world country to cupcake and simp with hoes?
It's not simping, man. Like I said, brother, everything's up and up. Everything's forward. If you feel that way, that's how you feel. But I'm not limiting myself to just one market of women. Now, to me, this gives me more confidence when I'm dealing with regular women, because I'm like, okay, I know I'm getting my physical needs met over here. I don't have to worry about, just hoping, she gonna ask me to dance, or, hoping I'm gonna get the number or whatever. I don't have, I'm not limited to one, to just one market. But what happened in my life, I'm just a hello?
Yeah, I hear your cape flapping in the wind. There's the Superman music in the back.
Oh, no, that's not me. I don't.
That is you.
No,
you
no,
the biggest saver hoe I've ever
in
seen in my life. I'm gonna be real. You a saver hoe, bro.
No. I do not save. That's the thing. I'm forward with it. When you're forward. See, what about regular dudes when they get played? You're not saying nothing about that. At least, with this, everything's up and up, and you can easily leave a woman with this. Guys who move in and get trapped into a relationship. Like, I've been in relationships where I was, stuck and trapped, and, I couldn't get out the lease. Me and our name was on the same lease, and it was just all bad. I didn't know that. I mean, it was just, my thing is, okay, look, man, growing up, I've always been, I've got
you all over the place. You're all over the place. Wait, stop, brother, you're all over the place. You're going on and on. You one of these dudes, I can make all the sense in the world, and it's going to go one ear and out the other.
Hello. Okay, the thing that happened with me, I've been rejected. I get rejected a lot. I'm kind of awkward with women, and then on top of that, it's like when I get into a relationship, it usually, within 6 months to a year or so, it goes bad. And then the excuse is she's fighting me to keep me. That's what she would tell me. I don't know what you're
talking about, bro. You all over the place right now, bro. You kind of rambling right now. So what's your website where people can check out your book? People who are Tricks and Johns. What's your website?
smashwords.com/profile/view/Jack Rover. Or better yet, you can just Google me, type in the ultimate guide for the traveling John, and I'm the first thing that will appear. You can ebook or print, ebook or printed version. I have it for sale in both.
Okay. And the name of the book is, one more time, what's the name of the book?
Getting the Best Bang for Your Bucks.
Getting the best bang for your buck. Getting the best bang for your buck. And again,
for your
brother,
bucks.
For your bucks.
For your bucks. The ultimate guide for the traveling John. The series is going to be called the Ultimate Guide for the Traveling John series. And and also in my book I talk about other things. I talk about travel, the best place to go, what to do. Just how to sightsee. I listen to your show, so I'm not, like I said, I take some of that swagger, some of that ism, and apply it to the John world. See, you're a teacher, but you're only limited to one market, man. And then the thing is, how do you expect a disabled man to go about doing this thing with women, man?
Wait. Let me ask you this: are you disabled?
Do you care about the disabled man?
I'm asking you: are you disabled? Stop talking around the question, brother. Are you disabled?
No.
Nigga, are you or not? Nigga, you in a wheelchair? Are you blind? Are you deaf? Nigga, it's a yes or no question.
No, I'm not. But I have compassion for the disabled man. It's like
we're talking apples and oranges. Don't use a straw man argument. A disabled guy, that's a whole different subject altogether. We're talking about able-bodied niggas who can walk, talk, see, spit some game, who choose to trick. That's what we're talking about. The disabled situation is something totally different, and there's certain reservations you have to make. You understand that? Even if you blind, shit, Ray Charles was blind and had a gang of bitches. So just because
that's Ray Charles, because see, and that's another thing. Like, he had status. So status naturally attracts him, but other guys, you know, we're left to suffer, wonder, and
why are you suffering?
Well, I get shot down a lot. I'm awkward with chicks. I mean, from getting shot down a lot, I don't have the most confidence, and it just is what it is. But when I'm in an area where prostitution is in abundance, when I'm on vacation, when I'm outside of America, my confidence just goes up.
And the thing is, to build confidence, you don't use your money, because your money, when you spend money on women, that shows a lack of confidence. And basically, you're throwing in the towel when you trick off your money to get sex from women. That's saying to yourself that I just give up. Here, I pay you to be with me. That's all it is.
No, she's offering herself, and it's a mutual decision, man. That's what it is.
Yeah, most women, if you give them some money, they'll show some type of interest towards you. But the thing is, they don't like dudes like that. At the end of the day, women can't stand a dude who has to pay her to be with her. You understand what I'm saying? Do you?
Well, no, that's why it goes by the time, and I'm able to pick up on their emotions. I'm able to pick up on how they feel towards
Do you acknowledge that women deep down don't like tricks? Do you acknowledge that?
My question, no. You
don't think so?
Because I'm not.
That's what makes you a cool trick.
I'm not
you're
a trick, man.
Trick, John, it's the same thing, brother.
I don't make
it rain. In exchange for sex. No. That make it rain. Just because you ain't making it rain don't make you any less of a trick. Because you can make it rain on one chick instead of making it rain on a whole bunch of females. And you're making it rain flying over to these countries, tricking off your money, taking.
But they appreciate it. They love it. And it attracts business, man. I mean, they have it there for a reason. They allow for it to go on in abundance there for a reason. It attracts business, you know, all over. I mean, you got to eat. You know, you got to, you know, and it gives you a chance to interact with another culture and take in another culture, you know, get the full experience. You know, it just,
yeah, I don't think you're sightseeing when you go to these countries. I don't think you're out here sightseeing when you go to countries. You hitting up the whole strolls the minute you touch down. But again, my thing is, bro, you just have to acknowledge that there's no substitute for good conversation. There's no substitute for good game. You got to keep your mouthpiece crisp. Throwing money out there is basically throwing.
And that's what I'm working on. You know, talking to you and everything.
Absolutely.
But my thing is, you know, everybody doesn't have game. Every dude don't got swagger. Every dude don't have that, you know, that bop to him. So what? Should they be left without? I mean, that's just, it is what it is. I mean, I worked out, you know, I get cut. I go to the, you know, I've been to the, you know, been to the gym, you know, did my thing. I mean, you know, when they tell me, ooh, I like your body, ooh, you know, you're not the usual John that I deal with. You know,
they're gonna tell you that. You're not the usual John I deal with.
I mean, I put all this
tell you that. They're supposed to tell you that you're the best looking nigga ever. But you one of these dudes. I can sit up and make all the sense in the world, but you got tricking in your heart. It's in your heart. The tricking is in your heart now, brother.
What you want me to do? I put into myself, and you know, I get shot down at the clubs. I get shot down by regular women. What am I to do? Just
step your game up. Step your game up.
Well, what do you mean step my game up? I mean, my game is stepped up.
You step your game up. You man up. You get your conversation straight.
See, there we go with this. And you know, my game is up. If I'm getting appreciation, I mean, hey, let them fake it. You know what? Let them fake it. As long as this thing is, it's a movie. If they're being an actress, let them act. Let them keep on acting until the movie is done. That's what I say. If you gonna fake it, that's cool. As long as, you know, my feelings, you know, my needs, my emotions.
You pay your little money, your little $20-$30. You get some little Thailand track booty. You happy? More power to you.
And you're, you know,
but don't make it what it is. Don't make it something that it's not. But my thing is, don't make it something that it's not. Well, I'm not.
No. Here's the thing. You can't. A John and a prostitute can't make love to each other. Well, I'm here to tell you different. I made love to him, and I said thank you. You know, there's love in this, man. You know, when there's honesty and there's up and up, there's love to be had with this.
Hey,
you know,
I hear your cape flapping in the wind, brother. Thank you very much for the call, man.
Okay, man. Thanks a lot. I do appreciate this, man. I appreciate, just being able to just get my book out. I mean, I look forward to talking to you some more. We're not at odds with each other, man. I just want you to know that, man. We're not at odds with each other.
Not at all. Not at all. Hey.
But you tell your other partners to not hate guys like us, because some of us could really have, emotional needs that need to be met, and it's just one of the things, regular women just, sometimes it's hard for them. I mean, you don't want me to end up with a Gadget to the Day or a Roseanne.
All right, brother. Okay, this nigga won't stop talking. Oh, God, that is one of the world's biggest fucking tricks. That is a trick. That annoying trick mentality, that talking, just won't shut the fuck up. That's one of those tricks who wears hoes down. He has to go to a third world country because a hole here will shut his ass down real quick. He's one of them tricks that will talk the bitch ear off, and she's like, look, I just suck your dick, nigga. Just so you can shut the fuck up. And he needs to go get third world hoes to get down like that. My goodness. So that was the interview with Jack Rover, the professional trick. So again, I hope you got an idea of the mindset of a trick. And this gentleman, much respect to the brother. He was brave enough to come on the show and say his piece. But like I said, this guy's a textbook trick. He's one of these cats who it's hard to really school him. He doesn't want to really listen. Like cats like this, when you try to lace them with the game goes completely over their heads. They just reject the game. Now, they'll listen, but they won't accept the game. They'll listen and they'll be entertained by it, but at the end of the day, they won't accept it and live by the game. They want to stick to their old trick tenets. And the thing is, man, about a lot of tricks, especially professional tricks, there's a narcissism that's there, and their narcissism kind of keeps them oblivious. See, a lot of players, there's a narcissism with players. It's all about me, it's all about me. But the thing is, players are self-aware. That's the thing that makes you a player, to be aware of certain things, especially aware of yourself, aware of your actions, making sure your actions are working or not working. That is what makes you a player. Guys who don't do that makes you a simp or a trick. And this guy, as you can tell just by the way he conducts a conversation, and I hope you're listening, Jack, is very un-Mackish, and it's trickish. You have to pay chicks to be around that. Because if you're not paying them, they would be put off by that mentality. They would be put off by your vibe. Because you don't know how annoying you are. And a lot of you tricks don't know how annoying you are to women. See, the thing is, you guys don't do an assessment of yourself. You're not self-aware. Because a player, when they step to a woman and the woman is running game, the player can see it from a mile away. If the player's getting unwarranted compliments, even if a player is narcissistic, he'll say to himself, hey, this female is trying to run some game, so let me watch my back around this girl. A player would think like that, but a trick, females give them compliments, females running game on them, they're like, damn, I must be fly. That makes you a good trick. Women want you to think like that so they can get you open and pat your pockets. So you got to be smart enough to peep that game, and tricks like this brother Jack Rover, this one of these dudes who thinks that he's smarter than the females out here. This guy just doesn't really want to learn. That's where the rambling comes in. All that rambling, talking. When cats do that, it's that shit where they think they know everything. They can talk up on anything. It's that shit you see on the First 48. You see these cats go in the interrogation room and they start running their mouths, and then all of a sudden they found out they got life in prison for talking too damn much. There's an art to silence. All that talking is very indicative of the trick mentality. A true player doesn't talk a lot. He just says the right thing. Tricks and simps, they just run their mouths, and they expose themselves inadvertently. They show their insecurities by all that talking. just rambling on and on and on. So I hope you guys really soaked up the game in this show and saw what to do and what not to do. And that's why I wanted to have a professional trick on this show. And, you respect. I'm not the kind of cat that's just going to blast somebody. You invite them on the show just to blast them. I want them to present themselves, and then we analyze it. And I hope Jack is listening, and I hope this brother steps his game up. This brother kind of has a hard head as far as game, but the game, this part of the game, advanced game, ain't for everybody. We need tricks out here. You do need some tricks out here. We need that trick whole player dynamic. We need tricks and simps out here to balance the game out. Everybody can't be a player. And everybody can't be a simp. Everybody can't be a trick. But the thing is, stay in your lane, whatever you are. Don't start popping off you got swag and you got this and you got that, and you got your ATM card out every time you see a female. You just stay in your lane. And again, with all that rambling and all that talking, I've said that a million times on the show, that's the worst thing a player can do. Players don't do that. All that talking and rambling, women don't want to hear that shit. Even if you pay them, they don't want to hear that shit. That's why this brother can't really pay women off out here. You can't pay women to sit up and listen to that bullshit for too long. And if you go to a third world country, they can barely speak the language, your language, English. So it's like blah, blah, blah to them anyway. So they're just tuning it out. So they're not tripping. So they can sit there with you for a few hours or even a few days and let you ramble that bullshit you talking. And you think you saying some fly shit and she's so into you because of this dumb shit you saying. What you're saying is like wah, 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 blah, blah, blah. I've been to Thailand before. I've been to restaurants where these dudes out there tricking, talking that same blabbermouth, rambling bullshit, and the females are just sitting up there nodding their head. Okay, yes. Nigga, did you hit the ATM yet? They got that look on their faces. So again, man, just stay in your lane. And this is why I write books for women as well. A lot of cats say, well, you write books for men and women. Isn't that a conflict of interest? Absolutely not. This is a perfect example why I have books like Player Be Played for women and The Art of Gold Digging for women, because there's dudes just like this who's not going to respect the game no matter what. And I know a lot of you people out there, my listeners, my diehard listeners, they say, hey man, I got a friend, I got a buddy. I try to put them on the show, put them onto the show, and they just won't fuck with it. They just like tricking, they like simping. Sometimes we just gotta let them do what they do. Let them stay in their lane. The game is not for everybody. That's just something that we have to accept, because we don't need any kind of half-ass players soaking up the game, bastardizing it, flipping it and making it into some raggedy shit. And cats like this Jack guy, the game ain't ready for him yet. Well, he ain't ready for the game yet, because the game is always going to be here. The game is going to be strong, but he's not ready for the game yet. This brother has to go through some things. This brother's going to have to be run through the ringer to get it, if he ever gets it. Because he just might be an old trick. A lot of you guys out there, you just won't get it. You end up being old, bitter tricks out here, mad at the players, and you run out of money, because with all that tricking, you will eventually run out of money. Or better tricks will come along and snatch up the females you got. So you better step your game up and depend on your game. Because there's tricks in abundance, but good game is very rare. Remember that. That's been today's episode of the Mack Lessons Radio Show. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad you tuned in. Don't forget, tonight, live on Ustream. It's going to be a packed house on Ustream tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're having the Best Dressed Player contest. You fellas, you do not need to submit any more pictures. We got all the pictures we need for the contest tonight, but we do need some more females to submit pictures for the Best Dressed Female contest. Hit me on Twitter, twitter.com @Tariq Nasheed, facebook.com/Tariq Nasheed. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, go to MackLessons.com. Get all the pay-per-view specials and the Mackish package. starting next Wednesday, December 7th. Do not forget, ladies and gentlemen. Do not forget. 1 week only. Next week, I'ma holla. Peace.